G'day everyone, welcome back to In My Shed. I'm BC. This is the before shot. A fairly broken, brand new reduced shank drill, and by the look of the damage I'd say the customer was just trying to enlarge a hole or drill out a hole that he has pilot drilled, and the pilot drill probably a little bit too big. If you go too much larger than the web of the drill, that is the result. The first couple of turns you're trying to take 15 or 20 thou per turn. It overworks the edge and it chips away, and it chips all the way down the flank. It's just a catastrophic failure. So I'll bring you in a little bit closer to the Brearley drill grinder. We'll set it up and show you how to grind a drill. What I'm doing here is just trying to verify that the drill is ground with reasonable balance. The multi-jaw chuck is fairly worn, and even though you use this guide in the back of the shaft, it's hollowed on the end. Place it in through the rear of the shaft and run it up to the butt of the drill, and that is supposed to centralise the drill in the chuck. The chuck being fairly worn, it's difficult to get both edges the same length. Now I've just checked with the dial indicator, and it's just under 0.03 of a millimetre different in height of the margin. That's the OD of the drill, and that's near enough for me. It's only going to be a jobbing shop drill, but still that's fairly accurate. It's just 1 thou out, so I reckon that's good enough. But if you don't check it, sometimes you can get one cutting lip 2-3 millimetres longer than the other. The drill can skew quite badly, and I'm seriously thinking for smaller drills of setting up a ER style collet chuck inside the multi-jaw chuck, and once you dial that in reasonably well, the drill grinding will be a lot easier. So I'll take the dial indicator away and we can get in and start taking something off the drill. I'll bring you in close to show you a bit of the action on the Brearley. I don't know who thought this action up. It's a bit of a mechanical nightmare, but it does work reasonably well, and then we'll have a look at the finished product. So I'll just dial in another thou or so. So it's a bit of a strange action. And that's sparked out. One thing I would like to point out is the machine runs reasonably quietly, and when you turn it off, it just takes a hell of a long time for it to run down. So it's got a nice set of bearings in it. The spindle is well balanced, even though I haven't got balance weights in the big clamp washer on the end. Nice piece of machinery, although this old girl has well and truly seen better days. It's a very, very old machine. So we'll take the drill out and have a squeeze. Okay, we'll try and get you in focus here. As you can see, it does a reasonable sort of job. Maybe a little bit too much clearance. It's hard to gauge. The setting gauge on this machine is just about had it. But I think the lip lengths are reasonably equal, and the chisel edge shows a little bit too much clearance, but I think it'll be a serviceable drill. Okay, I'll put that back into the bag and send it off to the customer on Monday, and we'll go on to the next job. Well guys, welcome back to Tool Grinding Saturday. This is a task that's been set to me by one of my subscribers, Jim. Nice fella. He's passed me on quite a lot of tools. This is for blowdown valve bodies. I'll just bring a sample in. Okay, boiler blowdown valves, I believe. That's an existing old one that's probably in the same condition as me. And that's a casting that they want to make a new one out of. And Jim said to me, it doesn't have to be an exact angle, approximately 10 degrees, and they will make the plugs, I think they're called, the moving part, to suit the valve body. So we had a existing reamer, that is that old, the writing on the shanks being worn off. But I've set that up in a ER collet chuck, and using a protractor here, I set up 5 degrees angle on the table, and the sub-table has already been trammed to the wheel face in a previous video. So all I'm doing, as I just showed in that little clip, is operating this by hand. I'm getting quite a gnarly finish along the body of the reamer, if we can zoom in on that. You might not be able to see it. It's not exactly what I would call a good cylinder ground finish. You might have to back out a little. Here we are, it did come into zoom. Lovely, geez, that's a good camcorder. As you can see the feed marks from me moving the table backwards and forwards, and I think that's created by the small amount of slop in the sub-table. I should attend to that really, but lots of other things to do like grind reamers. Now, one of the flutes is marked with some felt pen. That's how far I have to go. That's taken me about 5 minutes to get to there. So I'll have the rough body diameter done shortly. And I'm not really worried about this bad finish, because once that part of it's done, I'll be setting up a very dinosaur-like indexer. Just a couple of bits of steel cobbled together that I have shown before, and I'll show you the finished setup. And I'll be indicating or indexing off one flute, and as we feed the reamer in, it will rotate the reamer against the indexer. Now that should give me a reasonable grind on the back there. So what happens now with the cylinder grinding operation, I'm not really worried about, but in finishing the clearance area on the flute, I'll only be taking about half a thou at a time, so it should clean up reasonably well and should feed in quite evenly, even though this is a plain bush, there's very little slop in it. So it's a bit of an unusual job, and I just showed you everything while you were still zoomed in, so you would have missed it all. Sorry about that. Okay. That is the rough old indexing pieces that I'll be using, and I'll be indexing up to the flute. Now, I was asked a couple of weeks ago why I want a cylindrical grinder. Well, this is the second job in 2 weekends where I could have used one to great effect and saved a substantial amount of time and brought out better work, which is what it's all about. Okay, please like and subscribe. I'll bring you back later on, either later today or next weekend when we do the flute grinding. Bye for now.